Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sip and Talk.
Great to be back.
So today, we're diving into something that honestly feels like it's everywhere. Just the sheer amount of information hitting us constantly.
Totally. Phones buzzing, feeds scrolling. It's a lot. Like trying to sip from a fire hose, maybe.
Exactly. A fire hose spraying, like news, opinions, weird memes, maybe some glitter. Who knows?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why we wanted to talk about media literacy today.
Right. It sounds kind of academic, maybe a little dry.
It can sound that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But really, it's more like a superpower for just dealing with the modern world. It's fundamental to what we try and do here every week on Sip and Talk, actually.
Okay, so let's unpack that. What is media literacy in, simple terms?
Well, basically, it's the ability to understand all the media messages swirling around us, to analyze them, evaluate them, figure out what's what.
So like being smart about news, social media, videos, all that stuff?
Precisely. It's kind of like having your brain's own personal antivirus software running in this crazy digital jungle we live in.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah?
Antivirus for the brain. Keeps the malware out.
Yeah, something like that. It's about actively filtering and understanding, not just passively scrolling.
So what are the core skills then? Because just saying be smart isn't super helpful, right?
No, you're right. It breaks down. First off, just knowing the difference between a fact and an opinion. It sounds basic, but
it gets blurry online sometimes. Like, it's raining outside, that's a fact.
Right. Verifiable. But rainy days are the best for napping. Well,
that's definitely an opinion, though maybe a correct one.
Maybe. But yeah, distinguishing those two is step one. Then there's evaluating reliability.
Yeah. How do you know if something's credible? Like, is this actual news or is it just, your uncle's weird viral post from 3 years ago?
Exactly. Or figuring out if it's real news or an ad trying to look like news or a conspiracy theory or just a plain wrong. That's a huge piece.
Okay, so fact versus opinion, reliability.
Yeah.
What else?
Understanding motives and biases. This is a big one. Every single piece of media, someone made it for a reason.
Right. So you got to ask, like, who wants me to believe this and why?
Or is this just an ad cleverly disguised as, I don't know, a fun personality quiz? You got to look behind the curtain a bit.
That makes sense. It leads straight into critical thinking, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Not just instantly accepting or rejecting something you see. It's about that pause.
The pause where you go, wait a sec, is that actually true?
Yes. Asking questions. Being a little skeptical in a healthy way.
And you mentioned creating media, too. That's part of it.
Yeah, briefly. It's also about being responsible when you share stuff. Thinking before you forward that shocking headline or meme. Are you adding to the noise or helping clarify things?
Gotcha. So it's consuming and creating responsibly.
Exactly. It's a whole skill set.
Okay, so that's what media literacy is. But let's talk about the flip side. What happens when people or, news outlets or whoever just talk out of their hats? When they constantly get things wrong or exaggerate?
Well, it kills trust. Simple as that. It's like the information version of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, right?
Yeah. If you keep yelling fake news.
Yeah.
Pushing stuff that's not true. Eventually.
Eventually, people just stop listening. Even if you occasionally have something important or true to say, you've burned through your credibility capital.
Credibility capital. I like that term. It takes ages to build up.
And can be destroyed almost instantly. Think about a pundit who makes a few really bad calls.
Oh, yeah. They get labeled just chasing clicks or whatever, and it's really hard to shake that reputation.
It really is. And audiences aren't stupid. They develop a kind of immunity.
Immunity, like information antibodies.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. If you're constantly bombarded with super emotional or hyped up stuff from one source, you start to just tune it out.
You auto-skip it. Your brain installs a reason blocker because, they're not really there to inform you. They're just putting on a show.
Pretty much. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's not just audiences pushing back either.
What do you mean?
Well, the platforms themselves are starting to react more. YouTube, Facebook, Google.
Yeah, the algorithms are getting wise.
They're trying. They're increasingly trying to combat misinformation. They might reduce the reach of stuff that seems misleading or rank it lower in search results.
Or even slap a label on it, right? Like, this might be misleading.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a perfect system, but the algorithms are getting smarter about penalizing stuff that's consistently inaccurate or harmful. So there are platform penalties now, too.
Okay, so it hurts your reputation, your audience tunes out, the platforms might ding you. But what about the bigger picture? What are the broader impacts when trust in information just collapses?
Oh, it's huge. It goes way beyond just one creator or one website losing credibility. We're seeing research showing that exposure to fake news actually lowers trust in, like, major institutions.
You mean like trust in the government or mainstream media overall?
Yeah, things like that. There was research suggesting something like a 5% drop in general media trust after people were exposed to fake news stories. It ripples outwards.
Wow. And you can see how that plays out in the real world.
Absolutely. Think about public health stuff, like all the vaccine hesitancy during COVID-19. A lot of that was fueled by misinformation spreading online. People don't trust official sources.
They look elsewhere, and sometimes elsewhere is not reliable.
Right. And it affects politics, democracy itself. If people can't agree on basic facts because they live in totally different information bubbles, how do you have a functional public debate? How do you make collective decisions?
It makes everything so much harder, polarizes everyone.
Exactly. When trust breaks down, it really damages the foundations of how we operate as a society.
Okay, wow. That really underlines why this is so critical. And it brings us to, well, us here at Sip&Talk.
Yeah, how do we try to navigate this?
Well, our whole mission, really, is to be a trustworthy voice in this super noisy world, you know, where there are tons of voices, but maybe not always a lot of solid truth.
We aim to be more like a steady detox drink for your brain.
I like that. Not just another channel yelling or amplifying the loudest emotions.
Right. And we try to put those media literacy principles into practice ourselves, like with fact-checking.
Yeah, we don't just glance at a headline. We really try to dig in, check things out, look at multiple sources, sometimes even go back to the original reports or studies if we can.
We want to be able to tell you, hey, this seems solid, or, this looks like it might just be an online rumor. We'll even point out if something seems to have a particular bias or agenda behind it.
And presenting multiple viewpoints is key for us too, right? We're not trying to sell one particular angle.
No, definitely not. We're not here to convince you what to think, but hopefully to help you figure out how to think about complex issues, whether it's politics or international stuff or social issues.
There are usually different valid perspectives. We try to show those, acknowledge that complexity. Truth often kind of hides in the contradictions, you know?
It really does. And that connects to prioritizing credibility over just getting clicks.
Oh, for sure. It's tempting, right? Sensational headlines get attention. But we choose to spend that time on the research and analysis instead.
We want to be the folks you can count on to be accurate and responsible, even if it takes a bit more effort.
And we try to be transparent about how we do it. You know, mentioning when we're looking at academic research or government data or reports from international groups like the WHO.
Yeah, and encouraging you, the listener, to use those same skills, like checking multiple sources yourself, that lateral reading idea, or asking those critical questions about motives. We want you to learn how we check things, too.
It's about fostering that independent thinking. We're not here to spoon-feed opinions.
Nope. We guide you through the information, ask the probing questions like, is this source really credible? What might be the agenda here? But ultimately, we want you to do the analyzing and make the judgment call.
Exactly. Which really gets to the heart of our core belief here at Sip&Talk.
Which is?
That media literacy. It's not some fancy skill just for academics or, you know, elites. It's absolutely fundamental for everyone. Every single citizen needs this in today's world. It's like basic navigation.
Couldn't agree more. It's a universal skill, not a luxury.
And we hope Sip&Talk helps you practice it. You know, learning to question things without becoming totally extreme or cynical.
Yeah, being rational without being cold about it. Being critical, but not just being mean or malicious online.
Right. It's a balance, finding that sweet spot.
That's what we're aiming for.
So yeah, drink, sip of contemplation, chat about the world. That's us, Sip&Talk.
We might not always say exactly what you want to hear.
Huh. Probably not. But we've definitely tried to check it first.
And hey, if we get it wrong sometimes because we're human, we absolutely welcome corrections. Please tell us.
Definitely. Okay, so as we wrap up, here's something to chew on. If the algorithms get better and better at flagging misinformation and our filter bubbles get more, like, personalized, does that mean we can relax a bit? Or does it actually make our own individual media literacy skills even more important so we can question the algorithms and the flags themselves?
Ooh, that's a good one. Does the responsibility shift or does it just get layered? Something to think about.
For sure. Well, if you found this chat helpful, please do subscribe to Sip&Talk wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us keep these conversations going.
Yep, please do. And hey, quick shout out before we go.
Oh, yeah. Got to give some love to our old friend Mickey. Check out his YouTube channel. It's called Mickytolife.
Yeah, M-I-C-K-Y to life. He's got all sorts of fun stuff. Memes, great music picks, wine tasting.
Travel vlogs, too. Just good vibes all around. So yeah, check out Mickytolife on YouTube.
Definitely worth a look.
All right, that's it for us this time. Let's keep working on this together, folks.
Stay curious. Stay critical. Until next time.